For nearly 18 years, the two massive oak trees in front of Linda Thompson's home stood like living monuments, tall, proud, and rooted in the history of her family. Her late husband, Mark, had planted them the year their daughter was born, promising that as the trees grew stronger, so would their family. Under those branches, her daughter took her first steps, celebrated birthdays, and hung dozens of Christmas lights every December. To Linda, the trees weren't just trees. They were memories, promises, and pieces of her heart standing tall in her yard. But one quiet Tuesday morning, everything changed. Linda woke to the brutal buzz of chainsaws and the shouting of workers outside. Her window, still half asleep, she rushed out the front door in her robe, only to find HOA contracted cutters already slicing through the thick bark of her beloved oaks. "Stop! What are you doing?" she screamed, running toward them. But the HOA president, a stern man named Mr. Reeves, stepped in her way. "These trees are not within compliance," he said coldly. "Your yard doesn't meet the new uniform landscaping rules." Linda's hands shook. "These are my trees. You never sent me a notice, Mr. Reeves crossed his arms. "We emailed it. If you didn't read it, that's not our problem." Before she could argue, one of the oaks groaned loudly as the cutters sliced deeper, and with a heartbreaking crack, half the tree came crashing down. Linda fell to her knees, sobbing as sawdust filled the air like ashes falling from a burning memory. Neighbors gathered, horrified. Some shouted at the HOA workers, others filmed the chaos. One neighbor, a retired attorney, yelled, "These trees are registered old growth. You can't touch them without city approval." But Mr. Reeves ignored everyone, insisting the HOA had full authority. When the second tree fell, Linda felt something inside her break. Those trees were the last living things connected to her husband, and now they lay in pieces on her lawn. But the HOA had made a fatal mistake. The neighbor's video went viral within hours, spreading across Facebook, TikTok, and neighborhood groups nationwide. People were furious. Environmental activists, lawyers, and even the local news got involved. By the next week, the city launched a full investigation. The HOA was hit with heavy fines, and Mr. Reeves was forced to resign for violating city environmental protections. But the most healing moment came days later, when volunteers from across the community arrived at Linda's house with two young oak saplings. "We can't replace what you lost," one neighbor said, placing a hand on her shoulder, "but we can help you start again." As Linda planted the new trees, tears rolled down her face, not from pain, but from hope. For the first time since the chainsaw stopped, she felt something stronger than grief. She felt supported.